Howdy folks, Wildman Willie here, and today we're going to put a starter and an alternator on a 2004 Mazda 3 with the bigger of the two engines. This one turns out to be a little more complicated than I at first think. It's still not necessarily hard to do. You've got 4 bolts for the alternator itself. You have 2 bolts for the starter. There is a big bracket over the starter that holds every wire the car's got, and a big knot right over the top of that starter. Not difficult? Well, not complicated. Access, difficult. I'm going to give this car a solid moderate to do both these two jobs. Not difficult, not easy. This is definitely not a Toyota Corolla, and it's a little bit deceiving because you get under there and you can see it all. A few tricks I used to get the job done. It started raining on me really good. I got nice and wet, as you can probably tell. So, let's get the job started. Alright folks, Wildman Willie here, and today we've got a beautiful Mazda 3 up on the jack stands. Today's mission, we've got an alternator, it's down there at the bottom. We also got a starter, it's under this intake manifold down at the bottom. The good news is that's way easier to access than it first looks like. We're just going to jack up the car on jack stands like this, leave it on the tires so it ain't got no place to fall. I just want more room. Now, when I lay down underneath it, yeah, there's my alternator right there. Pretty simple. Bolt, the one up top. Starter, a little more complicated affair with the oil filter housing, but there it lives. 2 bolts and she's off. So, let's make short work of this, get this guy back on the road. Let you know when it's done. She's out of there. All in all, that wasn't too bad. 4 bolts hold that in. 1 pretty good and hidden up under the intake manifold. I found the trick to that to be to put the tool on it from underneath, but then get up top to actually turn the tool. That's your little secret on that one. As you can see, pretty nice hole up top. The top easiest bolt, you want to leave that guy in until last so that your helper can release it and let you nice and safely drop the alternator. It seems like the first one you'd get, but if you do, when you do these tough bottom ones, ain't nothing holding you in anymore. So, there's the hole. Let's stick an alternator in it. Alright, that was all kind of fun. And of course, Eugene doesn't give us no breaks on the weather. But there is an alternator installed on that. And there's a starter. So you can see the ass of it. I'm not climbing back up in it. There's a starter installed up in that. Boy, that's fun to get to them bracket bolts, buddy. Pack your patience and your limber if you're going to do that one. But all done, all simple, all starting, all good, all charging. Have a good one, folks. You guys a little bit of bonus footage, folks. So, I'm always telling everybody else Oregon grade wiper blades, and mine have been severely neglected, and they're the originals that came on the car. It's only 2 years old. It's not that bad. But we now have a set of Anco Contour, that and Trico, and make the same product basically. Is the best wiper blade you can possibly get your hands on. So let's install this on this car. See if I can do this semi one-handed. Probably not. I'll show you a little trick I use for doing wipers too. So, when I change wiper blades, what I like to do is I like to set a wiper blade underneath my wiper arm. So if I were to drop the wiper arm at any time, then it's going to hit a wiper and not my windshield. So, put that in position like that. Somewhere, anywhere's fine. Clamp that. Set that back like I said. Engage that. Pull off your strip. There you go. That was safe. I know you didn't get to see the whole thing, but we did it the safe way. Let's do the other one, and let's use my old wiper blade for the trick I was showing you. So, step 1, before removing the wiper blade, figure out where stuff would hit, stick an old wiper blade. So at least we got something. Gonna keep that arm from hitting that windshield if we were to drop it. Okay. Now, again, this is a little shaky video. This is all bonus footage this time for the end of the clip.
kind of got to have 1.5 hands to do this, so y'all can deal. Here, I'll hold it with my neck maybe. See if that works. No, it don't. All right. I'm gonna set this down so we don't drop nothing. But you see my technique. Clip, clamp, clamp, out, clamp, in, slide out. There's that. Man, you'd think I was a good mechanic. Put wiper blades on the car. Oregon grade, beam type, with the wind diffuser. Hope that don't cost me no gas mileage. But it will push that wiper blade to that windshield, and that will clear more water than what I was doing, that's for sure. Let's give you a little inside the car wipe streak. See how that does. I got some, what is it? A little bit of tree sap on the windshield in the one spot. So try to ignore that a bit. Oh, let's just see. First run of these puppies. Oh, yes. It ain't even clicking on that. Nice. Oregon grade wiper blade smokes. All right. Time to go in the house and get dry for a minute. I may still go do some suspension work on an Aveo. I'm not sure. All weather dependent at this point.
Okay, so as you see, we got all that squared away. Due to the rain, I kind of got busy doing the job and a little less busy doing the camera work. It was not the weather to be trying to get a whole lot of video on this one, and honestly, I was beating my poor hands up trying to get up in there. To recap, the difficult part of this starter job is the top right-hand bolt, so the top bolt on the starter. First, you need a 12mm deep well to remove a nut off of that stud, okay, that holds the bracket on the car. That's going to allow you to get the wires loose and such, and then you got to go back in there with a 14mm deep well, and there's very little access to that. You're going to have to feel your way through it until you get to it to spin that out. That's the complicated part of the starter assembly in my summation. Again, just regular mechanic stuff. Nothing that hard to do in theory. That one's mashed up in there real good. Because we didn't get you all the footage I might have liked of the starter and alternator change, I went ahead and got you some bonus footage of me changing out the wiper blades on the Mitsubishi Mirage. Thought that would be neat. It's been raining a lot. I got soaking wet out there on the Mazda job, so that kind of took away my motivation quite a bit to go work on the other things I got to do today. That and the clocks got away from me a bit too. I've got a Chevy Aveo. We need to do a wheel bearing, CV axle, ball joints, tie rod ends, sway bar links. I can do all that in an afternoon. I do have to take that hub's knuckle assembly to the machine shop to have that pressed out and pressed back in. Or I have to go rent such a tool to do that with. Usually I utilize the machine shop. I'm not sure I can get that in there today and expect same-day service, so we might let the universe dictate how this goes for me the rest of the afternoon. In any event, hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something, hope it was entertaining. Please leave me comments below, questions. I'll answer just about anything you put in the comments, provided it's not rude and crude. And like and subscribe if you like the content. I am redoubling my efforts to put this stuff out here. Get on board with me, help make it a reality. Thanks, everybody, and keep watching.